Hi guys. Now, in the last days, I was asking myself, why is the German Leopard 2 so crucial? I mean, everybody was talking about that, right? With a huge pressure on Germany. And so, apparently in Davos, there was this episode with the Chancellor Scholz, so the German Chancellor, staring very steadily at Biden, saying, "We are not going to send the Leopard 2 if you're not going to send Abrams." And apparently Biden said, "I want a piece of cake." Oh, Arthur. He replied, "Okay, I understand you. We are gonna go for that, but we're just gonna send Abrams that we're gonna produce in the future because we don't want to reduce our strategic stocks." Um, so the first thing that we have to consider is that Abrams is a very complicated piece of machine. It's not even a machine. It's considered to be a weapon system, and there is the need to scrap units, maybe like work in progress, or produce simplified versions on purpose, because essentially the Americans don't want to have their tanks maybe recovered in the battlefield and reverse engineered. So bear with me. The fact that Germany is the only supplier of tanks across Europe is a huge deal for different reasons. First, the tank is already there, it's in Europe. Every single country in Europe, apart from, of course, France and UK, is already adopting and using German Leopard tanks. Okay? But Germany had like a veto power deciding what the other countries can do with those German Leopards to or not. So can other countries use them for offensive purpose or not? The last word is a German word. So they are already in Europe. Now Germany said, okay, we are gonna send them. And when he said we, the German chancellor, he meant a part, just a little piece, let's say 13 or so from Germany. And then the other countries will also have to supply their own German Leopards. So first cool thing is that from the American perspective, of course, that the tanks is already there and are already there. And why it's so important? Because the tanks require a supply chain. And again, it's not just about producing the Abrams and then ship them all over the ocean to reach Europe. You're also gonna need to establish the supply chain. And that's why having the tanks, the German Leopard 2 already available in Europe is a huge deal, because everything is already there. You have the tanks and the supply chain, and the supply chain is a German supply chain. And this might be also another reason for the Chancellor Scholz to be so to have so many doubts, because in the case of those tanks, even provided by, let's say, I don't know, Italy, whatever, the maintenance of those tanks will be carried out by Germany. So this would bring Germany into a more active way of conducting this war, right? So first, in the first place, supplying the German tanks directly out of Germany. Second, authorizing the other countries supplying their own German Leopards too. Third, they're gonna provide the maintenance for tanks used on the battlefield. Not a good spot. And this was a first part of the story, right? You need the supply chain, and when it comes to the German Leopards, everything is already there. So in theory, it requires a short amount of time. Second is the strategic thinking of the Americans. They don't want, as we said, to let other countries reverse engineer their own Abrams. They really protect the Abrams very jealously. But when Poland, other countries will start sending out their own German Leopards, those are going to be replaced by Abrams. So those countries are going to become even more dependent on the US. So the US, let's say, win, so to say, twice. They don't risk too much to have their precious Abrams reverse engineered by other countries during or after the war. And at the very same time, they have fulfilled the stocks for other European countries and as you might know, when it comes to military supply, this is a source of power, because then the other country depends on the provider of this technology to defend himself, and this would make would tight even more and set even closer the European countries with the Imperium, but let's say United States. Last but not least, don't forget, again, putting ourselves into German Chancellor Scholz's shoes, that he might have some very dark memories, like, the last time that German tanks faced Russian tanks. It didn't end up so good for both the parties, I would say. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye.